Well, hello everyone. Hope you're having a great evening. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if it's your first time. Welcome, I'm Dean the Turkey Legster. You are watching Once Upon a Turkey Leg on its new time slot, Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you're watching on the replay, that is my new time slot. If you're watching live, then you know, apparently I'm live. So this is a change for me, and I'm looking forward to following this new streaming schedule in the coming weeks and months. Still bringing you the best, or bringing you fun stories and a place for you to gather and relax. So, speaking of the live chat, I've got a few friends in the house. Lyle, welcome in. I am Lyle. Welcome in. Robin, I Heart Disney, welcome in. Welcome. Tina McNeil, hello, welcome in. And hello to Chuck as well, welcome in. Thank you for watching. Jane in Travels, John and Nancy, hello, welcome in. Jennifer Caruso, hello, welcome in. Oh, how's it going? I'm having a great weekend. Having a really, really good weekend. Um, so yeah, so I'll get going on the stories, because after all, that's why we're here. Um, in just a moment. But I do want to do a quick shout out to my members, my Gobble Crew. And I was having such a blast on the Turkey Legster Zone last night that I forgot to announce something very, very important to my members, my Gobble Crew members. Coming up on Saturday, September the 5th at 7 p.m., I am doing a members only stream. This is going to be an experiment to see how well it goes. Although, if doing all the other kinds of streams has been an indication, I probably give another go at it, maybe on a New Year's Eve or New Year's Day kind of a thing. Maybe do a regular stream for the public, and then maybe do a members only hangout on around that time as well. So anyway, Gloria Thibodeau, welcome in, welcome in. Speaking of my members, so yeah, so that's coming up on Saturday, September the 5th. Um, and and then of course that will be at 7 o'clock, and we'll go for about 30 minutes on there, and then we'll shut that down. And then at 8 o'clock will be Turkey Legster Zone. So anyway, without further ado, guys, I'm going to take off the turkey vision glasses, and we're going to get going on the stories. After all, that is what Once Upon a Turkey Leg is for. So I was thinking about what stories I would be stories I would be reading on the stream tonight. I was thinking about, okay, what have I not read in a while? Or is there anything that I haven't read ever? And I'm pretty sure I have not ever read this from this princess. Jason Thibodeau, welcome in. Welcome in. So for the first time, I think, ever on the channel, Disney's The Little Mermaid. Ah, ah, From deep underwater, a mermaid named Ariel noticed a ship sailing by above. Her father, King Triton, had warned her many times not to go to the ocean's surface. He thought humans were dangerous, but Ariel was fascinated by them. She even had a secret grotto where she kept a collection of human-made treasures such as candlesticks and pictures. Sebastian, a crab who was the king's advisor, noticed the mermaid swimming to the surface. He called to her, but she ignored him. What? Oh, he called to her. I don't know what I read, but she ignored him. Okay. She wanted to know what was happening on the ship. At the surface, she saw a man being presented with a statue. The other sailors called him Prince Eric. Ariel sighed. The prince was incredibly handsome, and the statue looked just like him. Suddenly, the clouds in front of the moon thickened. A strong wind blew across the ocean, and lightning crackled in the sky. "Hurricane a comin'!" a sailor shouted. Waves washed over the deck, and the ship was tossed on the sea. Lightning struck the mainmast and sent it crashing to the deck in flames. Soon the whole ship was on fire. Then it exploded and Prince Eric was thrown overboard. Da 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 da. Ariel swam toward the wreck. She had to find the prince and save him. She spotted him floating on a plank of wood. Just then, he slipped off the board and sank beneath the waves. Ariel dived after him and used all her strength to pull him to the surface. Ah, ah. Izzy, hello, welcome in. Before long, the sky cleared and Ariel dragged the prince onto the beach. She watched over him, concerned. "He's so beautiful," she whispered. Then she began to sing to him. Eric's eyes opened, and he caught sight of Ariel. But a second later, she was gone. She had returned to the ocean so he wouldn't find out that she was a mermaid. Later, the prince made his way back to the palace. A girl rescued me," he told his friend Grimsby. "She was singing. She had the most beautiful voice." Meanwhile, beneath the waves, Ariel was thinking about Eric. She daydreamed and planned ways to see him again. The little mermaid was in love. Oh, I should show you this picture. I want to be where the people are. Flounder, a blue and yellow fish who was Ariel's best friend, led her to the grotto to show her a surprise. It was the statue of Eric. "Oh, Flounder," Ariel said, "you're the best." Laura Jam, welcome in. Welcome in, Laura. Ariel only had a few moments to admire the statue before her father stormed in. She had found out that Ariel had been to the surface, and he was furious. Contact between the human world and the mer world is strictly forbidden, he scolded her. King Triton lifted his trident. I don't have a trident. He lifted his trident and took aim at the man-made object. Daddy, no! Ariel cried. A golden ray shot from the trident and destroyed a globe. Another blast shattered a candelabrum, candelabrum, then a painting and some books. Finally, Triton turned his trident on the statue, which exploded into pieces. Lots of them. Lots. Ariel burst into tears. Her father didn't seem to understand how important these things were to her. Just go away, she said. Ariel was hurt that her father had destroyed her treasures. She knew he would never allow her to see Eric. So she decided to go see the sea witch, Ursula. Ursula made a bargain with the mermaid. She would give Ariel legs for 3 days. During that time, Ariel had to get Eric to fall in love with her. But if he kissed her, she would remain. If he kissed her, she would remain human. But if not, she would turn back into a mermaid and belong to Ursula for the rest of her life. You can't get something for nothing, the sea witch told her. What I want from you is your voice. Ursula took Ariel's voice and put it in her shell necklace. The mermaid would have to get Eric to kiss her without even speaking to him. Oh no, oh no, oh no, no, no. Now human, Ariel swam to the beach. Her friend Scuttle, the seagull, found a ship's sail and some rope and made her a dress. Soon, Eric discovered her. You seem very familiar to me, he said. Have we met? For a moment, Eric thought she had rescued him from the shipwreck. For a moment, Eric thought, she had rescued him from the shipwreck. But then he realized she was unable to speak. Then you couldn't be who I thought, he said, disappointed. But he took Ariel back to his castle anyway. She tried to adjust to life on land, but everything was so strange. She combed her hair with a fork and accidentally blew soot all over Grimsby with a pipe. Eric couldn't help but laugh. Jennifer, Robin, garlic breath. Grimsby was glad to see the prince enjoying himself. You know, Eric, perhaps our young guest might enjoy seeing some of the sights of the kingdom, he suggested. It's not a bad idea. The prince turned to Ariel. Well, what do you say? Would you like to join me on a tour of my kingdom tomorrow? She nodded happily. It was like a dream come true. The next morning, the two of them set off in the royal carriage. Ariel was thrilled. The world around her was so exciting and new. She and Eric stopped for a puppet show in town. Ariel got a new hat, 2 loaves of bread, boots, and some flowers. A few hours later, they climbed back into the carriage. After Eric had been driving a while, Ariel took the reins. She snapped them sharply, and the horse took off. Ariel loved being human, and Eric was enchanted by her. Oh. On a rowboat in a quiet lagoon, Ariel and Eric watched the sunset. I feel bad not knowing your name, Eric said. Maybe I could guess. Is it Mildred? Diana? Ariel shook her head. Then Sebastian, who was keeping a close eye on the king's daughter, went to the side of the rowboat and whispered her name into Eric's ear. Ariel? said the prince asked. She nodded and took his hand. Eric leaned in. Ariel closed her eyes and da 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 da. Splash! Eric and Ariel topped into the water. Ursula had sent her pet eels to overturn the boat. The sea witch would do whatever she could to keep the two from kissing. Whoa! Hang on! I've got you. Eric pulled Ariel back into the boat, but the romantic moment had passed. That night, Eric heard the voice of the girl who'd rescued him. He went to find her, and soon he had. She was named Vanessa. But the girl was really Ursula in disguise, using Ariel's voice to trick the prince into falling in love with her. By the next morning, word had spread around the kingdom. Eric was getting married to Vanessa. Ariel watched broken as the wedding ship set sail. She never got to kiss Eric, and that night he would marry another girl. Then her friends brought terrible news. They had discovered that Vanessa was really Ursula. Ariel knew she had to stop the wedding. She jumped into the water, but without her tail, she didn't know how to swim. Flounder pulled her along as she floated on some barrels. Just as Ariel reached the ship, Scuttle pulled at the shell necklace holding her voice. It fell from Vanessa's neck and broke. Ariel's voice returned to her. Eric? She asked. Ariel, Eric said. It was you the whole time. He moved toward her to give her a kiss, but it was too late. The sun set, and Ariel became a mermaid again. Ursula pulled her into the water. Let me show this picture. She's getting her voice back. Ah, ah, ah. I lost her once. I'm not going to lose her again, Eric cried. He battled the powerful sea witch and destroyed her. Afterward, the prince lay on the shore, exhausted. Ariel watched him from afar. King Triton surfaced and looked at his daughter. He realized how much she loved Eric. Happily, he granted Ariel her greatest wish. He gave her legs so she could be human. Ariel was thrilled. She and Eric were married immediately. And when they kissed, it was a kiss of true love, joining them together forever. And that is the end of the Little Mermaid. Magic adventures. Jen, welcome in. Welcome, come back, light. Come back, light. Lighting. I thought I fixed it. Anyway, that was our first story on the stream tonight. First time on the channel, if I am not mistaken. So we're going to continue the fun with these characters. Do forgive me, I didn't open the book up to the spot before. Some of these have, there's two for the, okay, we're going to do this one. 187, page 187 right here. Page 187, okay. So, perfection, haha. And before I read, I'm going to just grab a little sip of water, and then we'll continue with our second story tonight. Hope you enjoyed the first one. All right. All right. So here we go with the second story tonight on the stream. It is Ariel's Night Lights featuring The Little Mermaid. And this is from the Disney Princess Bedtime Stories book, which has several stories in it. A couple of them I have read. So here we go. Princess Ariel loved living on land. For so long, she had watched the human world from a distance. But now, she actually got to learn about it up close. One evening, Ariel and Prince Eric decided to eat dessert on their balcony. Good idea. To Eric, it was a normal, peaceful night. But for Ariel, nighttime on land was full of fascinating new sights. Fascinating. Nighttime is so different here than it is under the sea, Ariel told Eric. What do you mean? Eric asked. Ariel smiled. Beneath the waves, the only lights we have are glowing jellyfish and the little bit of moonlight that seeps down from the surface, she explained. But here on land, you have fire that you can use to light up the night. What's the fire and why does it, what's the word, burn? Da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da. Eric smiled at Ariel. Fire isn't the only thing on land that lights the night, he said. I know something else I think you'll love. Eric put out the torches, leaving the balcony in darkness. But not total darkness. Ariel's eyes widened as she spotted a bunch of small, bright sparks zipping through the air around them. With the torches lit, She hadn't been able to see them. "What are they?" she exclaimed. "They're a lot smaller than the jellyfish we had under the sea." Prince Eric chuckled. "They're fireflies," he said. He caught one and then opened his hand so Ariel could look at it. "See? Their bodies light up." Ariel carefully reached for the firefly, gasping in delight as it lit up again. The firefly flew out of Eric's hand. Soon it was lost among dozens of its friends. "They're lovely," Ariel said. "They move through the air as easily as fish through the water." "Does everything here remind you of fish?" Eric teased gently. Ariel laughed. "Not everything," she replied. "Actually, these fireflies remind me much more of something else." Ariel pointed upward. Countless tiny, uh, countless tiny points of light twinkled far above. "The stars?" Eric guessed. "Yes," Ariel said. "Fireflies look as if they could be tiny stars that have come to live on land, just like I did." Eric raised his eyebrows. "I never thought of it that way." "It's too bad there's so much light coming from the palace," Ariel said. "It makes it hard to see all the stars." "What do you mean?" Eric said. "There are plenty of stars out tonight." "Not as many as I could see when I used to sneak up to the surface," Ariel told him. "I suppose it's easier to see them out there because it's so much darker." "I suppose you're right," Eric agreed. "Even if I put out every torch in the palace, there would still be light coming from the village and the farms nearby." Ariel grabbed his hand. "Then let's go where there are no villages and no farms," she, she said. "Can we please? I want to see the stars, all of them." Eric looked surprised, but he nodded. "I'll summon a carriage." Soon the carriage arrived. Eric and Ariel climbed aboard and rode out through the palace gates. Their carriage traveled through the village and along a windy path up to into the rolling countryside. They passed several farms with animals sleeping in the fields. The farther they traveled from the lights of the village, the darker the world around them grew. Finally, the carriage came to a stop at the top of the largest hill. Magical Mike, Mike, welcome in. Hope you're having a great evening. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. Hopping out of the carriage, Ariel looked around. Far, far below, she could just make out the faint glow of the palace on the horizon. A few lights shone in the houses in the village, but their light didn't reach that far up into the hills. Ariel turned slowly in circles, looking up at the night sky. It seemed there were even more stars to see here than when she had looked at the sky from the ocean. "Oh, Eric, this is perfect," she said. Ryan, welcome in. Welcome in, Ryan. Hope you're having a great weekend. Ariel and Eric walked through the soft grass. Eric laid out a blanket. Ariel sat down, turning her eyes toward the sky. "Look," she told Eric, "now we can see all the stars." Eric lay back, crossing his arms behind his head and taking in the view of the night sky. "You were right, Ariel," he said. "I've never seen so many stars. There are too many to count." Da 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 da. Why did I do that song? Anyway, Ariel gazed upward. "It's nice to be able to look at the stars," she said. "When I lived under the sea, I wasn't supposed to visit the surface, so I never really got to study the sky. Doesn't that group of stars over there look like a ship?" "It does," Eric said, "and those stars could be a dog, and over there I think I see a trident, like the one your father carries." Ariel pointed at another set of stars. "Those look like my friend Sebastian," she said. "Shapes in the stars." Ariel and Eric laughed as they pointed out different shapes in the stars. Suddenly, one of the stars seemed to fall from the sky. Ariel gasped. "Did you see that?" she cried. "That bright star there. It's moving. Look, there's another one." "Those aren't stars," Eric told her. "It must be a meteor shower." Hmm. Ariel watched the falling meteors. "They're beautiful," she said. "I guess I was right after all." Eric looked over at her. "You were right about what?" Ariel smiled as the twinkling stars reflected in her eyes. "The stars really do want to come down to land." And that is the end of our second story tonight on the stream. Hope you all enjoyed that. That was a fun story. I want to shout out this, acknowledge this, Lyle. Member for 1 month. Thank you, Lyle, so much for being a member and for being a member of the Gobble Squad as well. Thank you so much. Um, so let me scroll up, see if I missed anybody else. Hope that carriage had brakes with it on the hill like that. um, that's why I like living out where I am. See the night sky. Yeah. Yeah, I can kind of see the stars. It's kind of like what they were, the situation they had at the palace. I'd have to go out to see, see better. I have to leave the city. Um, but all right, guys. Well, that's gonna do it for the stream tonight for this edition of Once Upon a Turkey Leg. So I will be back with Once Upon a Turkey Leg with more stories next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will also be next Saturday, of course, is the Turkey Legster Zone, and I'm finally starting my series on the history of foods. Izzy became a YouTube member. Welcome, Izzy. Thank you for becoming a member. Welcome to the Gobble Crew. Welcome, welcome, and thank you so much for that extra support of the channel. Appreciate that. Mucho apreciado. I don't think that's proper Spanish, but thank you. So yeah, then this week I'm going to be at Disney World Wednesday or Thursdays. Thursday. I'm not sure which of the two, but it's going to be Hollywood Studios. I'm going to be doing another evening stream, so stay tuned to the channel for that. Haven't decided which day it's going to be. It's going to be one of those two. Actually, it might be Tuesday as well. Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. So stay tuned. I don't know yet. So it'll probably be between 6 or 7. I'll start between 6 or 7 on whatever day I do. So just stay tuned. So with that, guys, thank you so much for watching, for becoming a member, for those of you who are members. And that's appreciated, not expected. I greatly appreciate that extra level of support. Robin says, toss a coin. Toss a coin. Do I have a coin? I don't have a coin. I have a toss a coin. Robin wants me to toss a coin, guys. Hold on a second. Toss a coin. I wanna be where the people are. I don't have a coin. See them and ask my questions. What's a fire and why does it? What's the word? Burn. Oh, there's this packet of pens I had. I was looking for these. Where's my coin? Hold on, guys. I'm totally getting derailed at the end of the stream. Oh, here we go. I know what I'll do. Oh. Okay. I've got a index card. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw a circle. Heads on one side and on the other side. Okay. Heads and tails. So this is not an actual coin. You can tell that. I don't know. That didn't work. Oh, you know what? I'll do this. I'll shake it in my hand and I'll roll it on my keyboard. And then I'll open it up and I'll see what's here. It's heads, guys, heads. What was heads? Oh, heads means you guys head out and have a great rest of your evening and a great week. And I'll see you on my next stream. So take care and have a gobble-tastic night, guys. Thank you so much.